Early in 2020, South Africa's clothing and textile manufacturing industry embarked on an ambitious training program to implement the ILO's Sustaining Competitive and Responsible Enterprises, or SCORE, training program to stimulate growth and employment opportunities in that sector. Then, in March of 2020, the global COVID-19 quarantine and resulting worldwide economic slowdown struck, leaving all sectors of South African industry equally vulnerable and threatened.
The extent of the problem in South Africa is dire.
But one of SCORE's strengths is its emphasis on safe workplaces in an inclusive way. So the unforeseen pandemic and the resulting specific regulations to mitigate it found the participating companies on a stronger footing than most in terms of SCORE support and the ability to react faster, not only to COVID-19, but to all other concerning occupational issues. At the start of the global novel coronavirus pandemic, South Africa's government acted quickly, imposing one of the strictest lockdown protocols in the world. Business started opening up again 6 months later under strict government safety guidelines, and it is vitally important that each and every business, company and factory imposes the strictest possible protocols to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 in the workplace. In July of 2020, President Cyril Ramaphosa made the wearing of masks a legal requirement.
Employers, shop owners and managers, public transport operators and managers, and owners of any other public building are now legally obliged to ensure that anyone entering their premises or facilities or vehicle must be wearing a mask.
The president also instructed all workplaces to designate a coronavirus official within the organization.
There is a designated official responsible for making sure that all regulations and all precautions about all this are strictly adhered to.
Some people say that COVID's a bad thing. I think it's had some positive impact in our business. Certainly putting together a proper health and safety manual.
It is the responsibility of this official to stay up to date with the state's occupational health and safety services, to implement the most current information materials and technical advice and communicate it through to the workforce. Every management team must develop a specific preparedness response plan for their enterprise in case of an infection, and ensure that the plan is communicated clearly to each individual employee. In line with the national guidelines, this plan must include steps for reporting, monitoring, tracing, and disinfection of the workplace. All employees must be trained on the company's COVID plan and on how to respond in case of infection. For high-risk workers, the training should also include the correct use, maintenance, and disposal of personal protective equipment.
After being at home for 2 weeks, we were thinking we need to do something to get our staff back at work, so we managed to get a permit and we started manufacturing face masks.
Management must help workers with the psychosocial effects of the pandemic and with adapting to new forms of work arrangements. Workers also need counseling on the importance of a healthy lifestyle, including diet, rest and sleep, exercise, and emotional self-care. Companies should also adapt and expand their employees' access to paid sick leave, sickness benefits, and parental care leave. Employers should encourage and implement teleworking from home for as many employees as possible and introduce a shift protocol for essential on-site workers to avoid large concentrations of workers in the facilities. For essential workers who are needed on site, work has to be reorganized in a way to allow for physical distancing between workers. And in-person meetings should be avoided as far as possible and replaced with phone calls, emails, and virtual meetings. In his address to the nation in July 2020, President Cyril Ramaphosa issued a plea for responsibility, care, and compassion.
Now more than ever, we are responsible for the lives of those around us.
And this applies also, if not even more so, to all employers and business owners as we strive together as a nation to rescue our economy and get our people back to work. This video was produced by CBPEP, a program funded by the European Union and implemented by GTAC.